This has to be the right decision, right? I can't just give up my last chance on ever becoming a mother.
And you won't.
As agonizing as this is, I know it's all gonna be worth it when I'm holding a baby in my arms.
If Teresa keeps her word.
I really wish that you would stop planting these horrible thoughts in my head. Why is it that you always need to make me feel worse about everything?
Because I don't want you to let your guard down. When Teresa has proven time and time again that she would do anything to achieve her ends, not yours.
I just wish you would stop this, okay? Mother, I have no choice here, okay? I have to trust Teresa. I have to just trust that she's gonna keep her promise and deliver us a healthy baby. Hey, what's going on? Has Teresa started the procedure yet?
No. He wants to run a couple more tests before they get to that.
Sweetheart, I don't understand what all these tests are for.
I'm sure it's just a precaution. They just want to make sure everything's okay.
Right. I'm like a complete nervous wreck here. I can't even think straight. I just really want this to be over so we can have a baby.
So is this gonna take long, Dr. Russell?
I have to get 2 good DNA samples, 1 from each baby.
And then you're gonna match it against mine to find out if one of these is my baby, right?
Right. I don't like doing this, Teresa. I told you that.
All right, Dr. Russell, please don't do this. Not now, please.
Teresa, I hate what you're basing your decision on. Whether either of the babies has you or Gwen for a mother.
Look, Dr. Russell, Ethan and Gwen begged me to do this. Okay, I'm carrying out their wishes.
Teresa, that's a bit disingenuous to say the least. Gwen has no idea that one of the babies could be yours and Ethan's.
Dr. Russell, that's not my concern right now. All right, my concern is to have a baby. The baby that I made with Ethan.
Well, then we're praying for 2 different things, Teresa. I hope that the DNA shows that both babies are Ethan and Gwen's. That way, I won't feel quite so much like we're playing God.
And I hope one of these babies is mine. Mine and Ethan's.
I don't understand.
I explained why we have to leave Harmony.
No, Tio. No, I don't mean that. Did you see the look on my mother's face before she ran out of here? It was like she saw a ghost.
Lars, stop! I need to talk to you! Look, please, wait. Look, don't run off again.
Sheridan, please, let me be. I need some time to myself right now.
Just first tell me, why did you run out of the living room like that? What did you mean when you looked at Mr. Wheeler and you cried out? No, it can't be. What were you talking about?
This is crazy. There's got to be some mistake here.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, well, this doesn't make any sense, okay? Mr. Wheeler said that he knew my father. He can't be my father.
He told you he was still alive, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I asked him how in the world he knew that, and he was about to tell me when we were interrupted, and that's it, Sam. It's Alistair. Somehow, Alistair must have gotten into these files. He tampered with them and made it look like Wheeler is my father. This is exactly Alistair's M.O. That's what he did. Anything to mess with my head.
Well, I can't dispute that.
Yeah, that's what he did. He saw that we were getting close, and so he did this to throw us off track.
When would he have had the time to do that, Luis? What we pulled up just now are our old original Crane files.
I don't know how he did it, Sam, but he did it. Hello, isn't it obvious? Come on. Wheeler looks nothing like my father, okay? Yeah, people age. They look different over time, but not that much. Besides that, my mother would have known that Mr. Wheeler... She would have known it was my father when she met him, okay?
Well, I thought Pilar said that Mr. Wheeler reminded her of Martin. Now think about it, Luis. I mean, plastic surgery can can drastically change a person's physical appearance.
I'll give a damn what it says there. There's no way that Wheeler is my father.
Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are my passion for life.
Damn it, Louise.
I'm sorry, all right? Look, it's just a thought that Mr. Wheeler could be my father. Look, there's no way that that's the truth, all right? Damn it, I guess I owe your brother a new laptop, huh?
He'll get over it. Look, it's you that I'm worried about. You can't keep flying off the handle like this. It's what cost you your job in a police station in the first place.
Yeah, I know that, Sam, all right? I know. Look, just the idea that this man I met down in Mexico who calls himself Wheeler, there's no way that he is Martin Fitzgerald, okay?
Then why would the computer say he was?
Look, I would know if it was my old man, okay?
Would you?
Yeah.
With enough plastic surgery? Now, you were no more than a little kid when he disappeared, right?
Yeah, so what?
And from what I understand, no one knew what happened to Martin Fitzgerald after that. Everyone but your mother thought he had died.
I went back and forth on that myself.
And then last night, Mr. Wheeler tells you with some conviction that your father's still alive.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't give me any specifics, okay? I don't know.
So what if he knew because he is your father? Now, what if it turns out that Mr. Wheeler is your long-lost father?
Look, Pilar, I can't count how many times I've cried on your shoulder. Now it's your turn to confide in me. What happened back there with the Wheelers and Paloma? Why did you run out like that?
It's too outrageous for words. You'll think I've lost my mind.
Look, don't hold back. All right? You've been like a second mother to me. I want to know what you're thinking.
Okay. And I need to tell somebody. Just now inside, while I was talking about my husband, I was overcome with the strongest sensation that he was right there with me.
In the room?
Standing there with all of us. The way he looked at me with those eyes, I suddenly knew that Mr. Wheeler, he's not who he said he was. He's my husband. My husband, Martin.
It's excruciating now, but it'll all be worth it in the end when we have a beautiful baby in our arms. Something wrong? Oh, please tell me Teresa didn't change her mind again.
That weaselly little wench is messing with my daughter's future
Stop.
again.
Calm down. Gwen, you too. It's nothing like that. Teresa's still planning to do what she has to do to save one of the babies.
And I wish she didn't have to, but it's the only way. Honey, there's no way I could handle losing both babies, not after the way we lost Sarah.
I know that.
But I'm not gonna dwell on the past. I really just want to think about the future and our future, you and me, and this incredible baby that we're gonna cherish for the rest of our lives.
So do I.
Then why the long face, Ethan? You don't seem very, enthusiastic.
Well,
to
forgive me. Okay, I'm finding it a little difficult to take much joy in this decision that Teresa has to make. You know, if you possess the slightest bit of humanity, you might feel the same way.
All right. Both of you just stop. I am sure that we all feel the same way here. Our gift of a healthy baby comes with a huge sacrifice.
I just hope and pray we're doing the right thing.
Of course we're doing the right thing. It's the only thing.
You were raised the same way I was, you know? The same way Teresa was. The church did teach us. right from wrong, Gwen.
Oh,
It's...
you need to stop moralizing. This is an issue of life or death. Ethan, I didn't get to hold Sarah alive, not once.
Don't do this.
I can't help it. I want a baby, honey. I want a baby so bad that my arms are aching. I mean, don't you feel the same way?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Of course that's what I want. I want you to be happy. That's what I want.
And I will be. I will be the happiest woman in the world when Teresa gives birth to our child.
Now, will God help Teresa if she is up to her old tricks?
Dr. Russell, how long will it take to get the test results back?
I put a rush on it. It shouldn't be too long.
I'm sorry you, disapprove of what I'm doing.
How could I not, Teresa? To base the fate of an unborn child on whether his mother is you or Gwen? That hardly seems fair.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Why don't you tell me?
I know it is a horrible decision to have to make, honey, and I don't envy you. I just hope that the DNA shows that both babies are Gwen and Ethan's. That way we can judge the babies on who's most likely to survive.
Dr. Russell, if one of these babies is mine and Ethan's, you know what I want you to do.
No, let's just not talk about it anymore until the results are in, okay?
You know I don't like this, right, Dr. Russell? It goes against everything that I was ever brought up to believe in. Everything that I've ever learned. I just don't see any other choice. Can you put yourself in my shoes, please, just for a second? When you were pregnant with Chad, Julian was the father and you weren't married to him. You must have been scared to death. Surely you thought about terminating the pregnancy.
Never. Not for one moment during the entire pregnancy.
Now you know why I have to do what I have to do to protect my baby's life.
Teresa, this is an entirely different situation. You trick the doctors into implanting Gwen's embryo into your body without permission.
Only after Gwen stole my son from me, Doctor. I needed some way to get him back.
Well, seems to have gotten quite a bit more complicated than that.
You wanted these ASAP, Doctor?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dr. Russell. Whose babies am I carrying inside me?
You are my passion for life.
Where does my mother go?
Try not to worry about her, darling. Sheridan probably got up with her.
But what if she didn't? Mama was very upset.
You should, probably let her be.
No, Tio. Something upset her so much she had to get out of here. If I find her, I will make her tell me what it was.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, Tia. Thank you. She's my mother.
Of course. No matter what Paloma says, she cares about her mother, I can tell.
Yeah, but what if Pilar tells her why she ran off?
Do you think she figured it out? Do you think she realized that you were Martin?
The way she looked at me, it's as if she could see right through me, and that expression on her face, it was like, how could you? How could you have left me and the children to fend for ourselves?
That's just your guilt talking, Martin. There's no way you could know that Pilar was thinking all that.
I pray to God I'm wrong. It would destroy Pilar to know who I really am, to know that I've spent all these years away from her with you. The truth could kill her.
It's not like me to let my imagination run wild. I think I've been spending too much time with my Teresa.
Don't be so dismissive of your instincts. Ever since you first laid eyes on Mr. Wheeler, you said that he's reminded you of your husband.
He doesn't resemble him physically all that much. It's more the way he looks at me. He listens to me. Oh, my goodness, this is nonsense. Of course, Mr. Wheeler is not my husband. If Mr. Wheeler was my husband, he would have told me. I mean, why on earth would he come back to Harmony and keep it a secret from me?
Right. I'm sure that he would have told you or Luis.
Or maybe he was afraid how we would react. Afraid if he told us he met someone else and fallen in love and been with her all these years.
Look, that doesn't sound like the Martin that you've always talked about.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, the Martin that I've always heard of, he loved you. He adored his children. He never would have just gone and started a second life with another woman, abandoning his family for no good reason.
No, he would not have. He was too decent a man, too good a man. Yet he seems to know so much about my husband. That and he and his wife clearly have a past with Alistair.
That doesn't mean that he's Martin Fitzgerald.
Of course not. Your father has enemies all over the world.
Yeah.
All this craziness is just that, you know, wishful thinking on my part because I've been missing my husband so much lately. Luis thinks it's just a waste of time, but I still hope and pray that Martin will come home to me someday soon.
There's no way Mr. Wheeler's my father, Sam. It's impossible.
Well, I think you're scared to admit it could be true, Luis.
Scared of what?
Scared of what it would mean if Mr. Wheeler is your father?
Right. Well, it would just mean that my dad's the world's biggest deadbeat. Not to mention a two-time and lowlife. There's no way that Mr. Wheeler's my father because that coward who abandoned us all those years ago, he wouldn't have the nerve to show his face in this town again.
Unless he couldn't take the running anymore. Unless he missed you guys very much and wanted to see you again.
Right. So what, he decided to bring his new wife with him? Look, Sam, my father may have abandoned us, okay, but I honestly don't think that he's stupid enough or low enough to come back into town and prance around with some new woman.
Maybe there's an explanation.
Oh, would you give me a break? Well, it's not bad enough for you that my father abandoned us without even a note, and now you gotta say that he's got some new wife and he's parading her all over town?
Look, I'm sorry, Luis, but I just don't understand how the Crane files could come up with such a match if it wasn't true.
Well, it better not be. Okay? Because, if it turns out that Mr. Wheeler is my father, I swear to God, I will kill him with my own bare hands for everything he's done to me and the rest of my family.
Look, if you ask me, there is something fishy about doing these tests on Teresa before she has the procedure.
Well, nobody asked you, Mother.
Well, last I looked, this was a free country, and I have every right to speak my mind.
You know what? Except when it comes to upsetting your daughter. Will you, for once, just keep your negative suspicions to yourself, please?
I just don't like it, that's all.
Nobody likes any part of this, Rebecca.
Well, I still don't know what this test she's having is for.
I'm sure they just want to confirm the original diagnosis about the babies, that's all.
That Teresa can carry only one baby to term?
Yeah. They have to make sure to save the right one.
What do you mean the right one?
You are taking a DNA test to determine which of these babies is mine and yours so you can save that one? What is wrong with you? And who made you God?
What are you talking about, Ethan? What do you mean they have to save the right baby?
Honey, you're scaring me.
No, I just meant they have to determine which baby has the best chance to survive if left alone in Teresa's womb, that's all. That's what I meant. It's a complicated, delicate decision.
Well, I don't care how many tests they have to run as long as they do everything in their power to deliver us a healthy baby.
So what's it say, Doctor? Are one of these babies mine, or are they both Ethan and Gwen's?
Just give me a minute, Teresa, to finish reading the results.
I think I'm gonna pass out.
Well, you can relax. You got your wish.
So one of these babies inside of me
Is yours. The DNA matches up completely with your sample.
Oh my God. I knew it. I knew I got pregnant the night that I slept with Ethan, and what about the other baby?
It's not a genetic match. Therefore, it must be Gwen's.
I mean, the only reason that I slept with Ethan is because I thought that I miscarried the embryo, and now it turns out I never miscarried at all.
Apparently not. So, you just panicked when you saw some spotting. God, Teresa, I wish you just would have come to me instead of taking matters into your own hands.
No, Dr. Russell, I'm glad that I didn't, because if I had, then I would have known I was pregnant, and I never would have slept with Ethan, and I wouldn't be carrying his baby. Dr. Russell, I believe everything happens for a reason.
Are you telling me that you're doing all this because you think you have some hope of getting back with Ethan?
You're asking me if I've fallen out of love with him. I haven't. Come on, Dr. Russell, listen to me. We talked about having a family together.
Before he was married to Gwen. He's a happily married man, Teresa. Surely you understand that.
We all know he's married.
You're not answering my question.
I'm saying that the baby that I'm gonna have is the one that I made with Ethan, and what happens after that is up to Ethan.
Oh, Teresa. God, I'm so disappointed in you. What happened to Pilar's sweet little girl? My daughter's very best friend. That could turn you into this scheming, devious woman that will just do anything to get what she wants.
Life happened to me, Dr. Russell. I grew up, I fell in love, and a pregnant Gwen came along and stole the man of my dreams away from me. She stole the life that was supposed to be mine.
I don't think that Gwen would see it that way.
I'm sure she doesn't. And I'm sure that she's in love with Ethan, but why does it make me a monster for wanting to have his baby?
It doesn't make you a monster. But I do want to understand your motives. So, you're telling me then that you would let Gwen's baby die so that you could save your own?
You would do the same thing if you were in my position.
I don't believe it.
Come on, Dr. Russell, why don't you think about this? What if you had to choose between saving your own flesh and blood or that of your own worst enemy? Say, Liz. Who would you choose?
I wouldn't make that decision, Teresa. I couldn't make that decision.
Okay, Dr. Russell. Look, I didn't plan on this. I didn't want it to happen. I would rather give birth to both babies, but according to you, I can't.
I stand by my medical opinion.
Well, then the choice is simple. Dr. Russell, too much has been stolen from me. The man of my dreams, my family's home, my job, and most importantly, my child. I am just protecting what's mine.
You know Gwen expects you to give birth to her baby.
I know she does.
So I don't understand, Teresa. Are you telling me you're going to carry this baby full term? Go through labor, delivery, the whole 9 yards, just so that at the end of it you can hand over a newborn baby that you know to be your own to Gwen and Ethan? Is that what your plan is?
It was as though part of me died when mine disappeared. I was very much alive and functioning well enough that no one No one knew how I felt inside.
You had all those little mouths to feed.
I needed to. I only did what any mother must do. But in the still of the night, when the house was finally quieted and I was all by myself, oh, I've never known loneliness like that.
Pilar, you were a beautiful woman. I'm sure you didn't have to be alone.
Well, there were a couple of gentlemen that were interested in me. You remember Mr. Hobby, the florist?
Mr. Hobby asked you out?
Yes, he was sweet on me. But he finally gave up after I said no one too many times. There was no point in giving him any false hope. I only loved Martin.
But he was gone.
That didn't matter. In my heart, I knew that he would come back to me. That's what I believed. Luis would say that's what I needed to believe.
What do you feel happened to him?
Oh, for years I thought that some external force or some person, perhaps even your father, had done something to make Martin leave. That the first chance he got, he would come home and explain it all to me. That's why I kept that candle lit for him.
But if Mr. Wheeler were your Martin,
it would mean that everything I believed in was a lie. That Martin left on his own. That he abandoned me and the children. That he met somebody else and fell in love and has been with her all these years. It would make me the biggest fool in the world.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. It would mean that my beloved husband had trampled all over the love that I thought was so strong and true. And I couldn't take it, Sheridan.
I understand.
And Luis, oh, heaven knows what Luis would do if he were to think that Mr. Wheeler was his father. He would just as soon kill him than listen to any explanation.
Yeah, he already has so much anger towards his father.
You know, that as hard as I tried to take care of my family, my Luis, he would do everything he could to help. He was so young, and yet he felt it was his responsibility to take the place that his father had left vacant.
Is that why he never went to college? I mean, is that why he broke it off with Beth?
Not only did he give up the life he would have had, but he felt he didn't do enough. And I said, Mijo, it's not your fault. You did the best you could.
I can understand why both of you would have such a strong reaction if Martin were to just show up someday. I guess I'd feel the same way if my mother came back to Harmony.
Your mother is dead.
That's what I mean. I mean, if she weren't, she just left me on her own free will. I don't think I could ever forgive her for that, because it would mean that she just threw me away.
Well, you have nothing to worry about. I knew your mother very well, and Catherine adored you. Just like Martin adored me and the children.
What happened back there with Mr.
Was
Wheeler?
Nothing more than my mind playing tricks on me. Mr. Wheeler is not my husband. I've been missing my husband too much lately, that's all.
Ay, mamá, there you are. ¿Estás bien?
I'm fine, mija.
But the way you ran out of the mansion, you scared me.
I'm fine. Paloma, I needed some fresh air, that's all. Let's go back inside, shall we?
It's not as if you left Pilar because you didn't love her.
I love you too, Catherine. You know I do.
I do know. And that doesn't make it any easier.
Martin, you make me so happy.
Now, how can that be when my job at Crane Industries pays so little?
Oh, I don't care about money. I wouldn't trade places with any other woman in the world for all the riches.
You could have done a lot better, Pilar.
No, never. The moment I saw those beautiful Irish eyes smiling at me, I knew that you would own my heart forever. That I could never, ever look at another man again as long as I lived.
You better not leave now and never come back.
No wonder you didn't want to consider the possibility that Mr. Wheeler might be your father.
He can't be. He just can't be.
The match was confirmed. The Crane files. Not to mention all the other coincidences since you and Sheridan first went down to
Look,
Mexico.
Sam, I know all about the coincidences, okay? I mean, honestly, they keep going through my mind over and over again. All right, the fact that the Wheelers they just happen to be living at my aunt's inn down in Mexico. And they happen to know my little sister Paloma so well. And not to mention the Wheelers, well, they just happen to know so damn much about Harmony and the Cranes. And I'll tell you the worst of it all, Sam. That when I first met Mr. Wheeler, I had a sixth sense about him and my father. You know, I just hope that's all they are, you know? Coincidences.
Well, you gotta pursue it.
I am going to pursue it, but only to eliminate the possibility. Now listen, Ned, we cannot even breathe a suspicion of this to my mother, okay? Because it would kill her if she even thought that Mr. Wheeler could be my father.
Of course. You know I won't say a word to Pilar.
All right. All right. I'll tell you, it's ironic, isn't it? You know, ever since my father disappeared, I spent my whole life wishing that my father would come home. Now, if it turns out that he has, that Mr. Wheeler is indeed my father, I wish I'd never laid eyes on the bastard.
Oh, I sure hope you know what you're doing.
Meaning what?
By entrusting the life of your child to the most untrustworthy woman that I know.
Okay, that's it. Not another word out of you, okay?
Look, I just meant...
I know what you meant. Mother, we all know what you mean. I just wish you wouldn't do this right now. I'm scared enough as it is at the outcome of Teresa's procedure. I just have to have faith in her. I have to trust that she's gonna do the right thing this time because I don't have any other choice.
Gwenny, please, just calm down.
You know, I will calm down when Teresa has done what she needs to do. Okay, because then I'm gonna know that this is actually really gonna happen, that after all the pain and heartache Ethan and I have been put through, that we are finally gonna have our own baby.
Teresa better do the right thing. Or by God, she is gonna have to answer to me.
So is that your plan, Teresa? You were going to carry this baby full term, bring it into the world, and then you're going to turn it over to Gwen and Ethan?
I thought we were talking about right now, Dr. Russell. I'm just doing what you and Ethan both advised me to do.
You trying to tell me that you haven't thought anything about what's going to happen after the baby is born? You know how much Gwen wants a baby of her own. Teresa, if you go ahead with this incredibly ill-conceived plan, you are going to regret it for the rest of your life.
Dr. Russell, I've made up my mind, okay? I want you to save my baby.
Okay, if that's what you want. But if the truth ever comes out about who the parents of the surviving child are, there is going to be hell to pay.
We've got to leave Harmony right now, Catherine. The longer we stay, the greater the likelihood we'll be found out.
And we've had so many close calls. As much as I want to tell Sheridan that I'm her mother, I just know how much pain it's going to cause everyone we love.
I found her.
We were worried about you, Pilar.
Oh, there was no need to worry.
Then you're okay?
Of course.
There's just a lot going on in my life right now. You caught me in a moment of exhaustion, but I'm fine.
Okay. You know, I'm afraid that Mrs. Wheeler and I are going to have to leave now. And I just want to thank you all for the welcome that you gave us here in Harmony.
Please, not so soon.
We have to. It is I who should thank you for looking after my Paloma all those years in Mexico. You've been wonderful to my daughter.
It was our pleasure, Pilar. We love her.
You should be very proud.
I wish I didn't have to go. I'm gonna miss you so much.
Oh, honey, we're going to miss you very, very much, too.
Pick up, Luis. Please pick up.
Luis, it's me.
Hi, sweetheart. Everything okay?
Well, not exactly. Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler are about to leave Harmony.
Tonight?
Yes, I thought you might want to get over to the mansion to say goodbye to them.
Look, I'll be right over. Whatever you do, do not let them leave before I get there, okay?
Luis, you sound so upset. Hello?
Who's leaving?
The Wheelers. Well, if that's who they really are, apparently they're planning on splitting town tonight. I'm gonna find out if he's my father. It's now or never.
Gwen's the mother of one. The other baby is ours.
Oh my God.
My God, Eve is filing for divorce.
Look, I just want to know the truth. Is he my father or not?